Hey you guys, what's up? How you doing? I hope you're having a lovely day. Let's get caffeinated in this bitch. Today's Monday, so I had a tutorial at 8 a.m. today for my criminal class. And yeah, it was good. I went to the gym afterwards, come back, now I'm having my little coffee, taking a bit of a break, probably hit the books again, do a bit of writing, and then I'm gonna go to practice tonight. I'm gonna go to swim training, you know, staying busy, staying active, trying to be less reclusive, surrounding myself with goodness. What else? Wait, what else? I just, like, sometimes I feel like this pressure to come on here and, like, always say something, like, profound or whatever. And that's ridiculous. I think sometimes I just need to get on here to, like, shoot the shit with you guys and build my audience through just, you know, posting. Not, like, if something insightful comes out, it's, there's no pressure for that to happen, though. I need to take my nasal spray. It's allergy season here. So, oof. Oh, my God. Can you believe that thing takes 2 weeks to work? But I haven't taken a nasal spray in about 10 years. And I think it's time. It's time. Yeah. We got into it in class today. We got into it a little bit. I'm starting to maybe realize why we don't like the mature student. Yeah, no, we were like fighting over, we're doing mens rea in criminal class. Mens rea of guilty mind, right? Mens rea is a guilty mind. So I love how the sunlight's just like beaming through. Oh, beautiful. But mens rea is of guilty mind, right? Guilty mind. That's the difference between manslaughter and murder, is like, you know, the intent to kill. So we were reading through this problem question and it was like A, B, C, D, or E. And, you know, we go through, it's like towards the end, it's the second to last question of the tutorial. And I'm like, the answer's D. And the first girl goes up and to answer the question and she says B. And the tutor is like, you know, it's not B, basically. And then the girl over there, just to my left, scarf, croaky voice, sick this week, or recovering from some type of something. And I'm sorry, someone just walked past my apartment wearing a Bottega Veneta bag. And I'm like, what? You don't see bags like that. You don't see bags like that in Auckland City. I digress. That's really interesting. So the answer, she goes and argues for C. And I'm like, you know, it was about the intent to do physical harm, the intent to this, the intent to that. And her answer was, he said her answer might be right. You know, it's plausible. But he was being interesting today in class. He was not giving us the answer. He was making us kind of fight and work for it. And I put my hand up and I was like, I believe the answer is D, because we are getting into the mindset of the criminal or the accused. So if mens rea is, this is like, it's subjective. It's not objective. Objective is like reckless, but reckless could also be objective and subjective. It's like, it's very complicated, but long story short, I looked at it and I was like, well, this is about mental state. And to me, this is the most plausible answer. So I think it's D. And he actually went with C for a little bit longer. He wanted to explore C as the potential answer. And then right at the end, he was like, but the correct answer is D. And I was like, yay. I was a bit obnoxious about it. I probably should have just taken the L and like, the L, the win, the W. The L. I should have just taken the win and been quiet about it. But no, me and my Tongan friend Amelia, I sit next to this Tongan girl, Amelia, and she gave me a little knuckle, like, because we did get it right. So when we do these like law questions and stuff, we get the exercise and then we sit with a partner usually and we kind of like work through the problem together and then we answer it together. And yeah. I don't think I got everything right today. It's rare. Law is interesting because you look at the answers and it could be more than one answer. There is the most plausible answer, but if she had said C, she wasn't incorrect. It's just like you're limited in that capacity to prosecute. It's harder to prove. Whereas like my one was like a bit of a lesser charge. But you're getting, again, into the mindset of the accused, so it's subjective. Whereas when you're looking at something like negligence, it's objective. So you need to take what that person has done and apply it to an ordinary, reasonable person. So that's where, like, and then it starts to get very confusing and it overlaps, and then, I start asking him, long story short, I was right in class, and I was probably obnoxious. Next time I'm right in class, I'll just be quiet about it and do my little fist bump with my little. I don't need to celebrate. We don't need to. But also, why can't I celebrate? Well, because you're older. I don't know. I feel like you should celebrate every victory as if it's your last. That's my mindset. So if I get an answer right in class and I celebrate it, it's not to shade you. Do you know what I'm saying? It's to celebrate that we got the answer right and that we're learning and that we're doing well. Like, that's the point of going to class. But I like healthy debate, and I don't think any less of either of them because they chose separate answers. But I do think that they are at a stage of their emotional development where they're like 18, 19, 20, where there's still that kind of tribal element of their mindset where they do stick together because they think alike. Yeah. I'm like older. Yeah. Anyway, it's just like the social dynamic of law school in your mid-30s is very interesting because like I'm not undergrad. I'm technically a graduate student because it's a graduate LLB. I've already done my undergrad, but I need to do undergraduate classes to get my LLB. So, but that's fine. Like, yeah. Sometimes I feel like these are blog posts I should be writing. More stuff that's like how to be in class, how to have etiquette. Yeah. I will admit, sometimes I interject and interrupt and I should put my hand up. But so does Homegirl, and I don't think any less of anyone when they do that. I do try to be more civilized and put my hand up. But yeah, no, I think law is combative by nature, so you should be prepared to have a lot of debate in class. Yeah, it's gonna get combative. Yeah. And we attack people. No, we don't attack people. Sorry, that's the wrong thing. I'm saying all the wrong things today. We attack ideas. We attack ideas. We don't attack people. Okay? We attack the ideas. We don't attack the people. So I've lived through a lot of, and I think as like an athlete, you also have had to learn how to not take things so personally. Like, if you take everything personally as an athlete, you're not going to get very far. You know, you got to pick and choose when to apply your ego. You know, you got to be it's a selective ego. Cheers. But I've been writing a lot lately. The stuff that I've been writing has been very stroppy. It hasn't been very fun. It's also not always been totally coherent. Sometimes I've been writing things and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I read back and I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. And then other times I'm writing it and I'm reading it and I'm like, oh, this is very coherent. But basically, just like, yo, I'm in like the fight of my life to try to have a balanced central nervous system. And I'm letting go of things that I just don't want to be carrying any longer. Okay? I'm carrying things and I don't want to be carrying them any longer. So I'm put them over there. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to get to them. I will get to them. I've just put them over there. Because if I sit and I think about it and I try to work through that problem, it's too draining for me, okay? It's too draining for me. So I need to be over here in the self-protectionist state of just like minding my business, doing my own thing, and being left to my own devices. That's where I'm at. Because my body has been through it, okay? Like, I know I was supposed to be in Spain next month. I was really hoping to be in Spain in June. A lot of things didn't work out that way. And it's crazy because when I said that in a video like earlier this year, I had a dream, and in my dream, it was revealed to me that baby boy would be in Spain. It was like, if you go to Spain in June, he'll be there. He'll be there. He'll be in town. He'll be in town. Because remember, I was like, I want to go there and I want to go to because the gay games are in Valencia. I applied for a gay game scholarship, hoping that I would go. Never heard back from them. So last time I applied for a gay game scholarship, I got it and I made it work and I was able to go. This time, didn't get it. So that was a big reason why I couldn't go. And it was heavily dependent on that. Secondly, when the oil crisis happened, like, I'm a massage therapist. The first thing to go are your luxuries, okay? So when the oil crisis happened, everything went, you know, and everybody went like that with their wallets. So work dried up really quickly, and I get paid per massage. I'm not paid like a salary. I get paid per massage. So that dried up. I then had to get some emergency dental work done again. But it's okay because the smile's popping. The smile's popping. The smile is popping. It's been a year. It's been a year. It wasn't meant to be. I think I just had to accept that it wasn't meant to be. And I'm sorry. But that's crazy that even back then I was having that dream, he's going to be home. He's going to be home. I was like, no, he's not. I had a dream. Yeah, I had a dream that I met him. It was like, if you go in June, he'll be there. The hometown hero will be home. And it was like a weird dream. I can remember it quite vividly as well. Today we're going to try some hyaluronic acid. Okay? I usually do niacinamide, but we're going to try the hyalurons and see if that makes a diff. He was home. It was summer. Everything was yellow. I remember the outside and the exterior was really, really yellow. And then I was led to this like secret space or place, and he was there. But he was like up against a window and the blinds were down, and it was very film noir. It was very film noirish. And I couldn't see him, but I knew it was him. And he was sitting there, and his leg was up, and he was like chilling, you know, like leg up, like, you know what I'm saying, like leg up, chilling, kind of like that. But it was in this like area of, it was really strange. He was sitting up and chilling, and I could see him, but it was just his silhouette. And then behind him was the window, and it was that film noir kind of blinds behind him. Do you know what I mean? And then he closed the blinds, and I woke up. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like, what is that? What is that? And I remember thinking at the time, I was like, he's gonna be home in May, June. Like, no, he'll be like, I was thinking about his schedule, like, he'll be at Wimbledon. He'll be, grass season. Like, what are you talking about? Bitch, he's home. He is home. But it wasn't meant to be, babe. It wasn't meant to be. I can't control, oil and financial crisis in the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, I can't control that. So I am, however, going to be in Australia for Melbourne at the Australian Open next year. Kelly's already got the room. Me and Kelly have a deal. Kelly's like, if you come and babysit a couple of nights, we'll figure it out. But like, if Uncle Amani can spend time with your my kids, and you'll be there for the 2 weeks of the, you know what I'm saying? So we're working on Melbourne next year. Hopefully, we've started the massages, but we're also, we're getting back into swimming. We're reconnecting with that. I would like to do swimming lessons again. I'm starting to get emails from people asking for private lessons again. So yeah, wait, wrong one. The universe is kind of, I think, pointing me back in that direction. But I think the universe also knows that my body has not been ready for it. Because it's been wild, bro. Just when you think it's over, but it is over now. I feel it truly, I'm just going strength to strength now. Yeah. The emergency dental is because I got my bone graft, right? And when bone grafts happen, teeth start to shift, right? Because there was a giant hole in the back of my wisdom tooth for 2 years, my teeth started shifting. So there was this huge gap between my teeth that was never there before. And I remember looking at the mirror, flossing, and be like, that's weird. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. Whatever. It's weird. Little did I know that, my teeth are shifting. So, teeth shift. And then I was a kid of the 90s, okay? So we still had those damn silver fillings, which I'm absolutely convinced, I can't prove it, I'm not a scientist, anecdotally, I'm saying, I'm pretty sure that shit is poisonous, because they definitely don't do them anymore. So I got my wisdom tooth out, and then I got all my fillings replaced. So then the teeth started shifting, right? I get my bone graft surgery, so the bone comes back up. There's more integrity and structure to my jaw and my face. So now my teeth are starting to shift back in again, right? So this gap, crazily enough, is starting to close because this bone is starting to merge with my jaw and starting to shift inwards. Now, when my teeth started shifting inwards, all of the fillings that were sitting on the side of my teeth was obviously starting to have tension, right? I don't know if you know this, but our teeth move in our skull every day. Even overnight, your teeth can shift in your skull. Yes. So as the bone was coming in and growing inward, the teeth were shifting back into place, and then the fillings on the side of my teeth were having a lot of added pressure. So it happened when I was chewing gum. I was like, yeah, 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 yeah. And then all of a sudden I heard this crack. I was like, another this is weird. It's kind of weird. And I'm pulling out, and there's this little I'm like, oh, it's kind of weird. And then a few days later, I was flossing my teeth at night, because it's my routine. I floss after every meal, but I was flossing at night before bed, and I don't know, my tooth like hooked in there, and I was like, oof. Have you ever had like an itch to scratch, like that itch scratch in your ear? You get a Q-tip and it's so bad for you, but it feels so good because there are nerves in there and they don't get touched often. It was kind of like that. It's almost like a relief, like a pressure, right? So as I was flossing, I was like, oh my god, this feels incredible. Like, oh my god, this is like an itch that I'm scratching that hasn't been scratched in a very long time. Boom. Filling drops out. So I'm fucking standing there looking in the mirror, smiling, looking like Popeye. I'm like, fucking Popeye, as like half my goddamn tooth fell out. Anyway, he like sealed it, did it. There's like all this like modern shit with dental now where like you can save teeth. So he's like, we're gonna save this tooth, bro. Like, you don't need to get a root canal because we're gonna save it. And he did his little magic. Shout out to Dr. Calvin at Caring for Smiles in Epsom. Incredible dental clinic. Go there, go there, go there. If you want to get your dental work done, or if you want to get your dental work fixed, go there. It's so annoying. I'm so diligent with my teeth. It's just like a fucking freak accident, bro. Like, but we're getting back there. It's not about where we've been. We've been there. We did that. That's done. And then all of this shit that's happening, it's done. We're good now. We're fixed. We're healing. We're healed. We're healed. We're getting back in the water. We're showing up to classes. My goal this year was to not miss one tutorial. I missed one tutorial in all of my classes, just one. And it was because I accidentally forgot it. It's not because I intentionally didn't go. I just messed up my schedule. But yeah, I think like my progress is happening. Is it happening at the pace and the rate in which others want it to be? No. But it is happening, okay? And it's like my best friend Kelly said to me. My friends have really pulled me through some dark times these past few years. Shout out to Kelly. She's been one of my angels this year. Kelly was like, you are moving slowly, but you are moving upward. And it's good because you are moving in a direction, and the direction you're moving is not downward. So she was like, you're doing well. You're doing well. Just get one step in front of the other. And if you need to sit and take a rest and recuperate, rest and recuperate. But you're gonna get momentum, but you can't get momentum if the body isn't right, if your central nervous system is fried, if you're feeling like you're rushing from here to there to everywhere, if you're constantly in a cortisol state, and she's right. She's 100% right. I want to be able to achieve my goals, but not have it feel like it is unsustainable. I heard something really interesting from this esoteric bitch that I follow on TikTok. And she was like, when you climb really quickly up the ladder, right? When you jump from here to there, like you jump really quickly from levels to levels, right? Boom, 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 boom. You risk burnout when you jump to things too quickly. The most feasible, easiest way to maintain is to spiral. You slowly work your way to it, and it's a lot more sustainable, right? It's that slow burn. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at right now. And I'm dealing with some really hefty emotional shit. Yes, I'm in therapy. Or I was in therapy. I'm trying to get back. Yeah. We hit pause on therapy for a minute. Because there's a lot that was being surfaced and there was a lot that was needing to be digested, right? And I've gotten to a point now where I feel that this is manageable. I feel manageable. But like, I'm dealing with some hefty emotional shit, and I think that I'm not the kind of person that can move on very quickly. When I sit down and I have a really serious conversation, it can take me weeks to recover. It really can take me weeks, because the last time I had a serious conversation with a family member was about 6 weeks ago, and I just felt like I recovered from that. Do you know what I mean? Having spent every single fucking weekend at home doing nothing. Like, I'm really telling you that I was literally at home doing nothing because I'm just trying to rest so that I can get my body, again, like, it goes back to that, like, getting that central nervous system and body back in balance, right? When I have to, let me digesting. When I have to have these serious conversations, they're really draining for me. I had one last Wednesday. Like, I need so much time to recover, you know? And like, it feels almost unfair because it's like, I get myself to this good place and then I'm having to get like, it feels like this weekend felt like I was straight back to square one, but I wasn't. I was like, no, you're not back at square one. You're actually taking a little bit of a hit, but it's not going to take you 6 weeks this time to recover from this conversation. You don't need to stay in for 6 weeks, okay? I'm trying to be less reclusive. So I went to my boss's birthday party. And birthday parties when you're in your 30s are so, like, they're just, especially when you're a man, especially when you're a Kiwi man, it's like, it's almost like we're not supposed to do birthdays or something, but I'm glad that he celebrated his birthday, and I'm glad that I went. And that was my thing for the weekend, where I was like, no, I'm not going to, I have more emotional resilience now, where I can have an upsetting conversation on Wednesday. Okay, I'm not able to go to class on like, I really, like, these things really fucking drain me, bro. Like I'm crying kind of thing. Like, this is not light, this is hefty. So I got to Saturday and my boss invited me to his birthday party, and I got to Saturday, I was like, I'm gonna go. And like, I'm gonna arrive early and I'm gonna leave early because I do want to be at home when the sun goes down. And I know I'm weird, I'm like an animal, but I want to be home and I want to be in with the heater on, laying in my bed with my laptop on, watching some type of YouTube bullshit and my soft pajamas and my linen sheets, sipping a chamomile tea. That's what I want to be doing. That's what I want to be doing on my Saturday night. But I understand I'm at a point of my, like, getting back out there, trying to sort of be reestablished and kind of reestablish connections with the outside world. Like, yeah, I need to have it be my goal for at least one time per weekend to venture out and engage with the world. Yeah. And I'm glad that I did. It was awesome. I had a great time. Met some of his really amazing friends. You know, I love alternative thought, alternative perspectives. I love people trying to change my mind and my opinion. I think that's what life's all about. Those sort of challenging discourse. And that was these were the kinds of conversations that I was having with his friends, like these men. I was like, oh, there's a kinship here. Like, I understand. Like, I get it. I get why you're all friends. But I get along very well with my boss. I have a lot of respect for my boss. I've learned I've healed so much of my body because of him. Understanding the central nervous system, understanding my emotions, understanding where I hold my tension patterns. Yeah, this is where I hold my tension pattern. Yeah, like all these like things that I just like never knew before. You know, like I never knew how important emotions were for our central nervous system. Like I always kind of knew, but I never understood how connected our emotions are to our bodies. You know, yes, there's that bullshit, the body keeps the score. I don't like that. It makes it sound like a football match. I suppose it's true. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. But I think when we see it from this lens of like, we're all just like walking blood bags full of emotion. And yeah, whatever emotions you're holding, like some people can like, it's really weird. It's like the day-to-day stresses me out, but when a moment of crisis happens, I'm as solid as a rock. Like, do you know what I mean? So like, that's like the dichotomy of me, is like when there's a big crisis and you need someone level-headed to step in and think clearly, I'm that person. I'm very good at like using a bird's eye view and making a judgment call that's thinking 10 steps ahead of like what's best. That's me. Yeah. The day-to-day stresses are like, that's where the tension patterns and stuff like arises, especially if I don't deal with an unpleasant emotion and I bottle it and then I'm like trying to continue about my day. I know that about me as well, is like, I've got to address this emotional thing right now, otherwise it will snowball into something far worse. And I know a lot of people think that that's very confrontational, and perhaps it is, but from my perspective, it's like I'm trying to stop us from getting into a really bad place by addressing these things as they arise, as opposed to allowing them to continue and slip and slide, and then all of a sudden we're in a bad place that's untenable, right? So, yeah. I actually said that at lunch. I don't know if we're following, I don't know where we're at in the conversation. Conflict resolution. That's where we're at in the conversation. You gotta know how you fight. You gotta know how you have conflict with people, but then you also have to know how you resolve that conflict. Now, my conflict resolution looks very combative and it looks very confrontational. And I suppose in a lot of ways it is, but I try to address things as they happen before they turn into something really, really bad. Does that make sense? I'm not sure. Like, when you don't address things and they kind of continue to live in this speculative, passive-aggressive, murky zone, it's not good for a man like me. Who likes direct, blunt. I like black and white. It's what I prefer. I understand that it's a sea of gray and that there's a lot of ambiguity in life. But for me, like, to navigate and to make sense of everything a lot easier, it's easier for things to be, black and white. It's easier. And then when it becomes murky, I just compartmentalize like a man. You guys can look that one up on your own. I'm not gonna, that's your homework. Your homework is to look up compartmentalization and see what that means. But, yeah. I'm gonna wrap up with the Vanity Fair cover shoot. Oh my god. Crush watch, baby boy, growing his hair out, looking so sexy. Un momento, por favor. Okay, so like, when I first saw the Vanity Fair cover, like, imagine this. Like, imagine like Like the one where he's like laying down and looking back, you know, like laying down looking back. Oh, so good. Imagine this is his. Imagine this is his. This is like right in the middle. You know, like right. Like this is when I saw that photo. You know what I wanted? I wanted that. Aerate it. Aerate it. Let it aerate a little bit. Where is it? Where is it? Like right there. Oh. Aerate it. Aerate it. That's what I wanted to do. And that's just one layer. That's just the outer layer. That's just the outer layer. We can go deeper. We can go deeper. We can take the shorts off. Should we take the shorts off? No, I don't want to. Do you know what I'm saying? To me, when I see a photo like that, there are three smells. There's the outer short, there's the underwear, and then there's the skin on skin. Okay? So there are three smells that I'm thinking of when I see that image. That it instigate that feeling, you know? It instigate that feeling. Yeah, it was definitely giving Two Scoop Paradise. It was definitely giving Two Scoop Paradise, which came out 3 weeks prior to the shoot, so that definitely would have been enough time for them to organize that. But, you know, maybe they read Two Scoop Paradise, maybe they didn't, we'll never know. You know, it all lives in this delicious world of plausible deniability. So, I just enjoy it. I don't question it. And I don't, you know, I don't take credit for it because I feel like, yeah. You know, sometimes things are magic and you don't talk about them too much because you like, you know, you want the magic to continue. So, yeah. There are moments where I feel quite invisible, you know? Algorithm bullshit, whatever. But like, no, that moment made me feel very visible. So thank you for that. And yeah, 3 times before noon, babe. 3 times before noon. That, like, literally, like, oh, with the itty bitty tiny waist, with the little itty bitty, I'm like, I already know the positions we're gonna be doing it in. Like, I'm already, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that photo was so hot, it makes you start thinking of that. You know, it makes you start thinking of those things. But the way his hands are up, the pits are out, and like, you know what I'm saying? With that little, like, little bit of hair there, you know, a little bit of hair, but not too thick, but like enough to show, like, yeah, you know, we've been through puberty. There's some hair on the dick. There's some hair on the dick. You know, like, just, yeah, you know. And the waist, to me, it was like that waist, that the white tank top. And the smile and the hair. And then there's the one where he's like, oh, just like feeling it. He's just like feeling it. I would love to shoot with him. I think I would shoot him really well. The only thing I would give advice for him is like, yeah. What I was told with modeling is that it's in the movement, right? So when you're standing there in the Louis Vuitton suit, like, think of like movements. Like, I always say to the photographer, like, can you count me in? Or 1, 2, 3, boom. 1, 2, 3, step. 1, 2, 3, open the jacket. 1, 2, 3, boom. 1, 2, 3, boom. It's in that, like, that end of the movement that the shot is taken, play around with it, experiment with it. You know, do your little camera, but it's like sometimes like walking in and taking a step helps. I just could see with the Louis Vuitton suit part of the shoot, he was very like, you know, just maybe a bit static. This is why dancers make great models, because it's movement. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, step. 1, 2, 3, step. 1, 2, 3, you know, and then know your angles, your lighting, hit your mark. Oh, baby, I'd shoot you. See, this is why we would shoot well together, is that it would be a closed set. It would be you and me, and I would make you feel comfortable. And in the shoots where he is comfortable, it really radiates. What was the one he did? The Times magazine in Wimbledon, before Wimbledon last year, with the hands and the soccer ball. That was like, that photographer was smart, because he was like, he's a beautiful guy. I just gotta capture him doing beautiful shit, you know? Modeling's hard because it's the moment when they like got a camera on you and they're like, look hot. That's when you're like, it becomes contrived or like unnatural, right? But he's the type of person where you can tell. He's like Scarlett Johansson in Girl with the Pearl Earring. Have you seen that movie? She gets like an Oscar nomination or something, or like maybe a BAFTA or something. I mean, maybe she won a BAFTA for that role. I can't remember, but it was like, she's just really nice to look at in that movie. She's like 16, 17, 18. She's acting, and it's not even like she's acting. It's just like really nice watching her do things. Yeah. And that's him, is like, I could imagine him standing there cooking eggs and a look of concentration on his face, shirtless, you know, pajama pants, and just that motion of him is hot and sexy. But then the moment you're like, I want to take a photo, look hot, it's like, you do what I mean? It becomes a different thing. So it's about stepping out of yourself and getting out of your own head and like posing. Yeah. But always, always, always count me in. Count me in. And then try to get a camera behind, try to get a mirror behind the camera. That's always really helpful. So get someone from your team and be like, get a camera behind that mirror so I can like understand my angles and stuff. Because when he said, I'm very comfortable rolling around on clay, and it's like, those were the best shots because he's comfortable. He's in his element. Oh, fuck, I really gotta finish Two Scoop Paradise Part 3. I know I promised it to you guys. I'm thinking leading into the full moon. The thing is, a lot of time has passed between the first two parts and this part that I think we kind of need to lead in a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Because I can't go straight to bodily descriptions. We need to kind of build that tension again between the characters. So it's gonna come out within the next week. I promise you, leading into the full moon. I'm thinking maybe Scorpio moon, around then. So use your left hand. Oh, stop. Anyway, hope there were some tidbits of insight in here for you guys. Thanks for chilling with me. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah. I pray that you're all of sound mind, sound body, and sound spirit. And be kind to yourself. Take plenty of rest. Rest is servitude to God. Because even God himself or herself or themselves, even God themselves had a day off, right? So we have this hustle culture, hustle, go, 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 burn, burn, burn. And okay, we did it. Now it's about finding our groove and keeping it sustainable. So rest on up. My boss gave me this. Okay, so I've been wanting a copper bracelet for the longest time, and one of my boss's friends had a copper bracelet. When I talk about like wooey, this is the type of people that were there. They're like, you know, wearing copper bracelets and like have amulets, and you know, maybe they're, you know, I don't want to incriminate anyone. I'm studying criminal law, so I don't want to incriminate anyone. But like, you know, they're like people that are very open-minded. So they like, we're talking about different ways of healing the body that aren't necessarily allopathic medicine. So we're all into like alternative medicine. We're into the psilocybin. We're into all of these things that, you know, oh, they've been lying to us the whole time, bro. Like, okay, so I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do like a good conspiracy. So when I get around that environment, it's just like, oh, okay, that's an interesting alternative thought and a different way of thinking about it. I see it differently, but I can understand how you would see it that way. And I think that gives us like camaraderie and like common ground. But like, yeah, his friend had a copper bracelet. I was like, I've always wanted one. I hear they're really helpful for like, you know, regeneration, collagen. You know, we need collagen to synthesize. Copper is a really important part of that. We're deficient, blah, blah, blah. And he had two, and his were like twisted. They were really cool. And then my boss went in. My boss is always doing the stuff where I say I want something, and then he'll have it, and he'll like take it. And I'll be like, no. And he'll be like, but I don't use it. And I'm like, are you sure? So it was one of those moments again with the copper bracelet. He was like, take it. And I was like, no, it's your birthday. I'm not supposed to be taking things from you on your birthday. And he's like, I don't use it. Take it. I was like, okay. So I took it, and I've been wearing it since Saturday. And yeah, I do have to bend it to take it off and pull it on. Right? But then I just, you know, slip it back on, and we go about our day. But yeah, I love you guys, and look after yourselves. Take plenty of rest, stay hydrated, put your feet up. You know, everyone out there is going to be about that hustle culture. I'm the anti-hustle culture. You come over here and you lay down with me. Okay? You'll get to it. We'll get to it. It's there. It's there. You know? It's not going anywhere. But sometimes it's good to step back and let your absence be felt for a little bit. You know? I think he's playing his cards right. And, yeah, baby boy, enjoy your time at home. Yeah. I know it's been a whirlwind 6, 7, 8 years. So take the time for you. And I know you don't feel bad about it, and people on the timeline are seemingly upset that you're not going to be playing at the next couple slams, but they like, you know, we appreciate them and we love them and we understand. But for me, I can see that he's really happy. I can see that he's really healthy, and I can see that he's going to be back better than ever. It goes back to that thing of like, when you jump quickly to things and you don't, you know, you can burn out. So I think it's just about, again, reset, and then now what's sustainable? How can we do this in a way that is like honoring ourselves while also honoring the sport and the people that come together to put it all on, you know? He's a very honorable man. So, but I can just see it in him. Like, don't cry for me, Argentina. You know, like, don't cry for me. I can see him. Oh, he eating some good meals. He is sleeping in his own bed. He is smelling that air you grow up in, that food, that soil, that fish, that water, that everything, bro. Like everything. I can see it. Fourth house, North Node, home. His element, you know? So that's why I look at the star chart. I'm like, oh no, he's loving it. He's loving it. And he's in a position now where he can come to it when he's ready. It's pretty powerful. It's quite kind of hot. Right? Like, I'll get to it when I want to. He's King of Pentacles energy, baby. He's King of Pentacles. Yeah, he's King of Pentacles. It's funny, yeah. Following other tennis players has really been interesting as a roadmap. And like how he's doing his career. And sticking to his guns and staying true to himself. Ugh. So hot. So hot. Oh my god. Oh my god. Stick it in. So hot. So hot. So hot. What's with the different colors though? Okay. I was starting to smell myself down there and I was getting turned on, and it's time to go. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah. Two Scoop Paradise, part 3. Let me work on it. Bye.